Hello and welcome back. We are painting this beautiful intuitive painting mixed media style. And if things seem a little bit different in this video, it's because I had to speed it up in editing and I'm doing a voiceover now in order to meet the time limit requirements of uploading it to YouTube. So that's why things seem a little bit faster, but please do not try to work this fast. It's not necessary. So what I'm doing here is adding some more magazine papers, and these are pieces of the same paper that original orange flower there came from. I think it might have been on the back of it. So when you're searching in your collection of magazine papers, make sure you look on the front and the back. You might find something interesting. So I start placing these around and having fun, and I'm using my my plastic card there to flatten out the image, and I start from the center of the image after the adhesive is already on the glue, and I pull it from the center to the outer edges to flatten it out. And in this case, I used matte gel medium for my adhesive, but there are alternatives. You could use Mod Podge or Elmer's glue with kind of watered down a little bit. And then I blow dried it, which is very important. It's very important to have your blow dryer near you when you are working with mixed media techniques, because to move on safely to each layer, it's best to have a dry surface so that nothing smears and nothing moves. So now I'm using my charcoal pencil, and it is a soft one, and I'll put the more detailed description of it down below in the description box. And what I'm doing is I am sketching out kind of my basic design that I'm doing here. And I know that I wanted to make a face, and the flowers seem to be like they were going in the shape of if they were sitting on her head. So I'm bringing the shapes of the flowers into the sketch, and I'm drawing this really quick and loose face. It's not, necessarily anatomically correct or the right proportions, but it's fun. Excuse me. And I've drawn a lot of loose faces just for fun, so they just come out naturally for me. And my best advice for this would be to just go for it and see what comes out. I mean, you've looked at your face a lot of times and you know where the eyes are, where the nose is, where the mouth is. Just go for it. No one's grading you on this. And you can erase it and fix it if you don't like how it comes out. And so now I'm starting this process, and this should be fun, and this should be not taken too seriously, and go as slow as you want. And I go back and forth of adding a really thin layer of white plus some water, and I just kind of brush it and smear it on. I don't put it on too thick. I want some of the under layers to show, and I'm smearing it next to and on top of sometimes the charcoal pencil, so that's how I'm getting this gray color. And I just go back and forth with pencil and with paint, with the white paint, and then with some bright colors of paint, just back and forth. And when the bright colors seem like they're too bright, then I just add the white paint over it, and it's always in a really sheer layer of white every time. So here I'm adding the green gold. And you can think about it like if you were putting on makeup, I'm adding the shading like where you would put your makeup or where you would put highlighter, or where you would not put the highlighter would be where you would add a darker shading. If that makes sense. And like you put shading on the eyelids like you would put your eyeshadow on, so think of it like that. And you can smear it with your finger too. So let's talk about adding rosy cheeks. And here I'm using Magenta, but you can use any color. And I'm not afraid to put it on darker right now because I know that I'm going to add as many sheer layers of white as I want to tone it down. I'm just trying to get the right placement of where I want it. And playing around with the lip color, and even though it's kind of dark, again, I know I can always tone it down. So this helps me to not be afraid to add something or get something too dark, because I know I can always fix it. Gosh, excuse me, my throat. We're in California, and it's very smoky outside, and everyone's got allergy problems and breathing problems right now, and I've got a really dry and scratchy throat sometimes. But I'm alive and I love my life. So now we're just kind of toning down the cheeks. And what else? Remember, you can always smear that sheer white with your finger wherever you want. It really helps. It gives a nice blending effect that sometimes I can't get with my brush, so I use my finger. I don't know if I said this, but I recommend maybe searching for a tutorial of how to draw faces on YouTube until I can get mine up. I think that's my next video I'm gonna make. Just a quick, loose way of how to draw faces. So as you can see, this is a bit of a process of going back and forth, but it's worth it because it gives you a really nice shading and a smooth, kind of dreamy looking skin texture. I've been really liking to give my characters white hair lately because I'm growing out my silver hair. And that might be something that you want to think about when you're painting. How can your character represent you if you want it to represent you? What small elements can you add that are, unique to you? So one of them being your hair color. What can you add there that represents you without, trying to make it look exactly like you? It's more of a representation of you. Going over this again with the pencil. And I'm going to be wrapping up this portion of the video here soon. So putting these details on top and smearing again with the finger for the shading. So there you have it, and we'll see you again in the next video.